Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's we'll be reviewing this Tacoma TRD Pro. Now before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the Orem Toyota for giving me some time with this TRD Pro. Now to my knowledge, this is being sold at MSRP. Obviously double check with the dealership. Link to their website in the description down below. Link to my car buying guide as well. Let's get into it. Under the hood, we have a turbo 2.4 liter 4-cylinder hybrid that goes through an 8-speed. It produces 326 horsepower and then 465 pound-feet of torque. And then fuel economy is 22 around town and then 24 on the highway. Also, upgraded TRD filter, pretty cool. Before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, you guys can see the hood scoop there, pretty cool looking. You got the heritage style Toyota logo, and then you've got the cool light bar there below it. Rigid fog lights built into this as well. Fun sequential turn signal indicators. And then we do have skid plate protection underneath with the TRD Pro here. But yeah, very aggressive looking front end. Now tire wheel setup is 265 by 70 by 18 in the front and over in the rear. And you can see there, TRD on the wheel itself, pretty solid, all-terrain tires, you know, for off-road and on-road use. It's kind of like a nice in-between tire. Anyways, you've got the Fox shocks with the TRD Pro. You can see TRD tuned shocks, and you also have the upgraded upper control arm as well. And the shocks are adjustable. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get the adjustment point on camera because it's kind of hidden. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to show it there, but you can adjust them. Anyways, we've got the fender flares that have been painted, TRD Pro here on the side, rock rail protection here on the side, and then here's a quick look at the shock setup in the rear. You can also see the spare tire in the rear as well. And then if we take a few steps back, I think this truck actually looks really good in black, because the other ones, you still have the black fender flares, and so it kind of, I don't know, it's a cool side view. This leads us to the key fob where we have our lock and unlock function, drop down for the tailgate as well. It is power, so it's got fancy stuff like that. Now with the TRD Pro, you can see in here, USBs and everything, which is nice. LED lights, and then we got an outlet there on the other side. A composite bed with this, and I don't think this one has the liner on it. Yeah, I think it's just the exposed composite bed. And then this is automated, so just lift it up a little bit and it'll go up the rest of the way. Cool taillights. You've got these really cool looking recovery points here on the back end, and then you also have the jack points right next to them as well. A or B bumper that's shared with the Trail Hunter, but there's the rest of the rear. Now popping inside, you can see we've got this nice red stitching here, and I like the trim. And then I don't know if that's real carbon fiber, I think it's just print, but it still looks cool. And then here are the seats. Really cool camo design there in the center portion. And then yeah, you got the seat shocks. Everyone's talked about this, so I'm not gonna spend too much time, but it's really easy to adjust them. I'm actually going to not drive in on-road mode. I'm gonna try off-road mode this time, because last time I drove a TRD Pro, I had it in the street mode with the seat shocks, if I remember right. So I don't know, I'll just see if it feels any different with the absorption. Got some USBs and everything, but yeah, not a lot of space. It's kind of more of a storage shelf than anything else back here. This leads us up front, where again we've got all the fancy stitching here, the red trim down below, all of our window controls here, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. It still has solid payload, 1,200 pounds for a mid-sized truck. TRD there on the seat, got the camo design, but yeah, really aggressive. These are the most aggressive seats in the Tacoma. Like, the bolstering's really tight, definitely holds you in place. And then notice these are not, like that works, but that's just a dud there. It's actually a manual lever to adjust the seat forward and backwards. Fancy pants pedals, and then that's just turning the light bar. You've got your auxiliary switches here, tailgates, drop down raise, gas cap release, steering wheel, manually adjustable. So taking a look at the steering wheel, perforated all around, got the TRD logo there at the bottom, got the cool marker there at the top. Stuff like adaptive cruise control, lane steering. It's got all of Toyota's modern stuff. You got your volume, voice command controls as well. Traditional stocks here on the back. Low fuel, no extra cost. Just kidding. But anyways, you can change what the gauge cluster shows here, information-wise, depending on what is important to you. So I don't know. I think that's pretty fun, if you ask me. 360 camera system. See a bunch of different angles here with the truck. We also have the off-road view as well, which has the inclinometer. It's a nice piece of kit. And then, yeah, big screen, shortcut bar here on the side. And then down below that, see a little volume control. Dual zone climate, has heated and ventilated seats, has a heated steering wheel, so nice luxury features there. We've got our wireless phone charging pad here, shifter, TRD shifter to be exact. Got your parking brake and your auto hold, your drive line select with this as well. Get drive mode, your multi-terrain select, crawl control, and this has Toyota's modern systems. Really good stuff. Like, it makes off-roading kind of boring with how capable it is. Got your trailer backup, 360 camera, rear locking diff, stabilizer, bar disconnect to help out with articulation while crawling. Got some cup holders here. Nice trim on the top. Yeah, good storage. I like the Toyota logo there. I think that's pretty cool. Camera rear view mirror. And then this has a sunroof, and then we also have a power sliding rear window. So, Tacoma TRD Pro, there's not really anything to add to it too much. So 65, 455. Let's see how it performs. Well, TRD Pro Tacoma. I will say, although these seats are kind of a pain to get into because you got to get over the bolster a little bit, once you're in them, they're pretty darn comfortable. Now, something to note, I don't have like I am a pretty hefty dude. I weigh almost 220 pounds, but I've got a pretty narrow frame overall, so it's something to note. I think if you had a wider frame, you might be sitting literally on the bolsters with this. Again, Toyota is always promoting skinniness. I feel like Mazda does it more than Toyota. Mazda's seats are like the narrowest in the car industry. But, oh, this suspension in this Tacoma is so good. Now again, it's hard to really perceive how much these seat shocks actually do with the truck. But what I will say, from the seat of your pants, what you feel is pretty darn comfortable ride. And it just absorbs everything really well. So, on-road, it kind of has a Raptor type feel with the sharper, sportier handling and with the comfort as well. I would say, like, out of the 3 midsize pickup trucks, because I've had a chance to drive all of them, you know, Ranger Raptor, Colorado ZR2 Bison, and then the Tacoma TRD Pro. I'd say the Colorado's the most squishy, right, with the suspension and everything. This is pretty close to the Ranger Raptor. Now, I'm not talking about how, you know, shock performance and all of that, just squishiness. Squishiness does not equal the best shock performance, because a lot of the times shocks that actually have the highest performance aren't always the most comfortable on road, because they're just kind of like on edge. The way I personally kind of like imagine it is, so okay, this versus like Ford's live valve Fox shocks in the Ranger. These shocks are kind of like, you know, amped up, ready to do something. The Fox shocks in the Ranger Raptor are like someone is amped up on like 600 milligrams of caffeine, and they're like bouncing off the walls and they're like, I'm ready to go. So it's a little bit different. This does feel bigger than the other. I feel like it feels bigger than other Tacomas. It's got kind of like this wide, kind of just aggressive feel. And the power with this powertrain's really solid. It's not as aggressive as the Ranger. A lot of people have asked me for comparisons. So here's how it feels. The Colorado feels the slowest out of the bunch, especially if you do the Bison. Colorado's not bad. This has the best low-end torque out of the bunch. You get a really good low-end shove. The Ranger Raptor feels a lot better at the with the mid-range and up top, definitely, because it's got the most horsepower. Definitely, the Ranger Raptor in general feels the sportiest out of the 3. Really cool setup. So overall, the new Tacoma TRD Pro, it's cool, and it's interesting to see Toyota split their top line off-roader, because TRD Pro used to just mean the Toyota's top line off-roader. Now it's, do you want top line high speed or overlanding? Which I think is smart. I think it makes a lot of sense, right? Toyota saw all the people putting old man Emu and everything on Land Cruisers and 4Runners and stuff, and so like, you know, and Tacomas, and so like, you know, let's just offer it from the factory and we'll get the money. So let me know what you guys think about the new TRD Pro. We'll get another little bump here through the gutter. Not the best test of suspension, but it shows something. Boom! I think it's a cool truck. Is it worth the $65,000 price tag? I don't know. You let me know.